all. I feel privileged to welcome all of you to the webinar on The Man Who Knew Infinity. As all of us know, today is the 100th death anniversary of the world-famous mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan, and we are here to recollect the contributions of this great soul to the mathematics community. Today's resource person is Professor Ambad Vijayakumar, a familiar face to most of us, and he is one among the leading Indian mathematicians who is dedicated to popularize mathematics among the common people. He is now Emeritus Professor in Mathematics at Cochin University and is also serving as Vice President to Ramanujan Mathematical Society. I welcome you, sir, to start your presentation.
Good morning to you all. Let me first of all thank the St. Xavier's College, Alua, for arranging a webinar on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of mathematical genius Srinivasa Ramanujan. I'm also happy that I could be a part of this event, thanks to the invitation by Dr. Aparna Lakshmanan, the coordinator. Okay. Let me begin this video presentation on the life and works of Ramanujan. First, paying tribute to a great inspiring teacher, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. This presentation has two parts. The first on his life at Kumbakonam, and then the historic correspondence with Hardy and many other things, and also his journey to London, and finally his demise on this day 100 years ago. In the second part, we will discuss the famous no bananas, no persons story, the problem of dividing 0 by 0, theory of partitions, highly composite. And the last part of this presentation will contain some recent unexpected applications of Ramanujan's mathematics. I understand that two of my friends from abroad also have joined, Mike Hershon and my good old friend Schmidt. So welcome all the participants and also those friends from abroad in this video presentation on Ramanujan. Please bear in mind that this is going to be a popular non-technical lecture because this is meant for popularizing the great mathematician Ramanujan. So with your permission, I am going to start my presentation. Yes, let me begin the video presentation on the life and works of Ramanujan by first paying tributes to a great inspiring teacher, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was the former President of India. Academically, I am planning to have this talk in two parts. First, on his life at Kumbakonam, his studies in Kumbakonam colleges, his appointment as an accountant at Port Trust, his historic correspondence with Hardy, and finally his journey to London, spent about 5 years in Cambridge, along with veterans G.H. Hardy, McMahon, and many others. And finally, his demise exactly 100 years on the day. In the second part, we will discuss the problem of no bananas and no persons story, theory of partitions, highly composite numbers, and I will conclude with some recent applications of Ramanujan's mathematics. So all of you know that Ramanujan was born on 22nd December 1887 and passed away 26th April 1920. He lived for exactly 32 years, 4 months, and 4 days. This is a famous quote from Vedanga Jyotisha of Lagadha, an ancient Indian mathematician who lived in 14th century BC. It reads as follows: Yatha Shikha Mayuranam Naganam Manayo Yatha Tad Vedanga Murthanistha. Like the crest of the peacock and the jewel and the head of the cobra, mathematics stand at the top of all sciences. We have a quote from the Western philosopher mathematician called Frederick Gauss, who is well known to all of you. Mathematics is the queen of all sciences, and number theory is the queen. And it is in this queen of mathematics that Srinivasa Ramanujan contributed a lot, and his contributions still remain as an enigma. This quote of Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, in his autobiography, Discovery of India, is well known. He was also a fan of Ramanujan. He says, Ramanujan's brief life and death are symbolic of the conditions in India. Of our millions, how few get any education at all? How many live on the verge of starvation? It's a very important point to realize this situation existed in India. We will now go briefly on the timeline of the, as I told earlier, and all of you know, Ramanujan was born on 22nd December 1887 at a place in Tamil Nadu, Erode. His parents were Srinivasa Iyengar, Paulathappan, and his birth star, according to Hindu mythology, is Uttarakhand. At the initial stage itself, he had a tremendous influence on the book by George Carr on a synopsis of elementary results in pure and applied mathematics. Later on in 1904, he became a matriculate of University. In 1907, he failed in the first degree of arts from Government College, Kumbhakonam. The reason was that he was interested only in mathematics. I will show you later mark list. He was interested only in mathematics, and he did not appear 2 papers, and he did not pass 2 papers. That was really happened. In 1909, he married Janaki Ammal, 2 years old, and Janaki was just 10 years old. And in 1911, he published his first research paper in the Journal of Indian Mathematical Society, entitled Some Properties of Bernoulli Numbers. He joined as an accountant in Madras Port Trust in 19. And in 1913, he became the first research scholar of the University of Madras. The same year, he wrote an historic letter to Hardy, which I will show you later, and started his journey to London by ship in the year 1940. In 1916, because of his excellent contributions in highly scholarly article on highly composite numbers, which appeared in Journal of London Mathematical Society, with 62 pages and 269 equations, he was awarded BA degree, honorary BA degree by Cambridge University. You should know about the status of Cambridge University, which is the second oldest university now existing in the world, which was built in 12th century, wherein Sir Isaac Newton, Alan Turing, and many stalwarts were the students or professors. In 1918, he was awarded Fellow of Royal Society, London, and also a Fellowship of Trinity College, London, and came on 26th April at Chennai. To know more about the places involved in this discussion, you see left, and Tamil Nadu is in the southern part, near to Tamil Nadu is Kerala. You can try to apply the famous 4-color problem to India map and get how many colors are required for coloring India. The map of Tamil Nadu, and I have put it in blue marked with some places which will be discussed in detail later. Erode, Namakkal, Tanjavur, Kumbakonam, and finally Chennai. These are the districts or places which are of interest to the life of Srinivasa Ramanujan. As I said, he was born in Erode. On the left, I see the birthplace of Ramanujan. Obviously, it could have been some of his relatives' place. He was very poor. On the right, you see his house in Sarangabani Street in Kumbakonam, where he lived for many years before he went to London. I was fortunate enough to visit Ramanujan's house in Kumbakonam in November 2014 when I went to Shastra University. You see on the left the international monument maintained by Shastra University, the House of Ramanujan, and which was dedicated to the nation by Dr. Abdul Kalam. On the right, you see the photo of inside of Ramanujan's house with a blackboard. There were only 2 rooms and a traditional well. That's all Ramanujan had. This is the high school where I studied, and there you see the sculpture of Ramanujan in Shastra University campus. These are also some other photos of Ramanujan kept in the library of the school. You see Ramanujan wearing a suit. These are some photos from Shastra University, and interestingly, in the first row of the photo, you see the famous temple, Ranganatha Swami temple in Kumbakonam, and then you see the of Ramanujan. And after completing today's morning session, somebody asked me, did the astrologers predict that Ramanujan will have a great future as a mathematician and he is going to die at a young age? And this is, I think, a research topic one should try to give the answer at least in a couple of days. You will see the old house of Ramanujan, thatched house, and also the photo of mother of Ramanujan, Srimati Pamadatta. All these things you see a bench to sit wherein Ramanujan sat all the time in English. So this is a photo of Adi, Ramanujan, and Neville. All these people I will discuss later. They all contributed to Ramanujan's fame and growth as a mathematician. You know, he failed in FA, so he was a little bit desperate, and he had a depression also. He was not okay because he lost his scholarship because of his failure. So he went out of his house for a couple of days. Since he did not come back after quite a few days, his father Srinivasa Iyengar gave a press news which appeared in 2nd September 1905 in the famous Chennai-based Hindu paper. It says a Brahmin boy of the Vaishnava named Ramanujan, of fair complexion and aged about 18 years, was till recently a student of Kumbakonam College. He left his home on some misunderstanding. So, as a guardian of Ramanujan, Srinivasa Iyengar was asking for the help of others who could find him and asked them to return back to Kumbakonam. And in fact, after 2 weeks or so, he returned. This is the mark list of first Madras, 1907. There are, of course, some mistakes. In date of birth, it is written, if you watch closely, it is June 1888, which is wrong. But look at the marks he obtained. He obtained 38 marks in English, 34 marks in Sanskrit, and he did not appear physiology and history. He got only 85 marks out of 150 in mathematics. So this is a story which I tell everyone. It is not all, everything is in the marks. And Ramanujan had no influence on his marks, and you all know how great he became. But that is not an excuse for the students not to get good marks in their studies. You see here the names and photos of so many personalities who helped Ramanujan to reach the present height. That includes S. Narayana Iyer, Emile, G.H. Hardy, V. Ramaswamy Iyer, who was the founder of the Indian Mathematical Society in 2007, Diwan Bahadur Ramachandra Rao, who was collector of Nellore, Professor P.V. Seshu Iyer, a maths professor at Kumbakonam, and later on became a professor of Presidency College, Chennai. Incidentally, Seshu Iyer hails from Palghat. I am also from Palghat, Kerala. Then another person is Sir Francis Spring, who was the chairman of the Madras Port Trust. All these people, in fact, wrote a letter along with C.L.T. Griffith of Madras Engineering College, a letter to Professor M.J.M. Hill of London University, who was a mathematician and who later on became the vice chancellor of this university, to request Hardy to invite Ramanujan. But in that letter of Ramanujan, he had mentioned this formula that the infinity of the n positive numbers is equal to negative 1 by 12, which even college students now know that it is a mistake. In fact, that mistake came because of the confusion of presentation as an application of the Riemann zeta function is equal to 1, which you study in complex analysis of PG courses. And Riemann zeta function has an associated Riemann hypothesis, which remains as the one of the unsolved million-dollar problem or millennium problem. Just to show you the strength of the problem, there was a question asked to Hilbert, famous David Hilbert, what do you want to ask if you are reborn after 500 years? So he said, the first question that I am going to ask is that the Riemann hypothesis solved. So that for a person like David Hilbert, that Riemann hypothesis solution will remain as another enigma, another great unsolved problem. In fact, when he wrote this infinite series as negative 1 by 12, Professor Hill of London University was clear that Ramanujan was not fully aware of the divergence series. Therefore, he asked Ramanujan, before he comes to London, to study clearly the theory of infinite series from the test book by Bromwich. Later, Ramanujan married Janaki Ammal in 14th July 1909. And you see that Ramanujan was 1920 and Janaki passed away only in 1984. So for roughly several years, Ramanujan's wife Janaki was a widow in a traditional Brahmin family. On the right, you see a letter written by Janaki Ammal in 1984, just 1 month before her death. I am just showing this not to discuss about the content of the letter, but the caption of the letterhead. As you see, I don't know whether it is clear, is Janaki Ammal, wife of late Srinivasa Ramanujan, bracket, mathematician, mathematical genius. It's a very rare caption that you find in the present day letterpads, because there is no genius now in any part of the world. It's also another rare picture taken immediately after the wedding of Ramanujan. On the left, you see Ramanujan and Janaki. Wedding was in 1909. And on the right, you see a group photo taken in 1982, I feel, on the 125th birth anniversary of Ramanujan in Chennai, the Srinivasa Ramanujan Centenary Conference. So it is like that. On the first row, you find George Andrews, Professor of Mathematics, and Mrs. Ramanujan sitting on the front row. I could not recognize the other people's. I will try to do it later. So this is the historic letter that Ramanujan sent to Hardy on 16th January 1913, giving him a glimpse of his outstanding contributions to number theory, hypergeometric functions, continued fractions, and so on, and also requesting him to give a scholarship to study in India or abroad. That's what precisely happened. So this is a very famous, and you should read this very carefully. This is a letter written by Ramanujan to Hardy. How humble he is in introducing himself as a clerk. I'd like to introduce myself to you as a clerk in the accounts department of the Port Trust office at Madras on a salary of only 20 pounds per annum. 20,600 rupees approximately per year. So hardly 80 rupees per, 1,600 by 12, that much in a month, which a percent-day research student can never believe. And the second sentence is, second paragraph is, to preserve my brains, I want food. And this is now consideration. That shows that Ramanujan was very poor. All of us know he didn't have money to do research, and he didn't have any earnings. It was a very pathetic letter that Ramanujan wrote to Hardy that time. And Hardy, is an interesting person. Hardy and Wright, Number Theory is quite a famous book. And he's also a book called Mathematician's Apology, wherein he says that his greatest contribution was that the discovery of Ramanujan. That was the greatest contribution that he did towards humanity, to Cambridge, and also in FRS. FRS, Fellow of Royal Society, London, is a rare that Ramanujan got later. I will discuss about that during the next slides. About Hardy, Hardy's advisor was Professor Titchmarsh, who has a book on number theory, analysis, and so on. And Hardy's PhD students included another great South Indian mathematician, T. Vijayaraghavan, who all of us, some of you may know him. If not, please Google and more about Vijayaraghavan. But Hardy always believed that number theory will remain as the purest form of mathematics, and it will never have an application. But when you go to cryptography and coding theory, you cannot do anything without number fields and number theory. So Hardy was a little bit wrong in assessing the power of number theory. This is the photo from England, the group photo. What you see in the center is Ramanujan. As I said earlier, Ramanujan became Fellow of Royal Society, London on January 24th, 1918. He became the first Indian scientist to be honored as a fellow. In the citation recommended by Hardy and McMahon, it says, Srinivasa Ramanujan, Trinity College, Cambridge, research student in mathematics, distinguished as a pure mathematician, particularly for his investigations in elliptic integrals and number theory. But I have another information for you, which we don't find everywhere, is that there was one professor, Talitz, D-A-L-I-T-Z, of University of Oxford, who very clearly says that after receiving the FRS, he did not sign in the register of such fellows. That means he was not present in the auditorium of the Royal Society building to personally receive this citation. And he suspects, Professor Dalitz suspects that he had already started some illness as early as 1918, which later on came out to be true. This is the last correspondence of Ramanujan with Hardy on mock theta functions, which he wrote after coming back to India in 1919. You know that Ramanujan passed away on 26th April 1920. The reason of his death was diagnosed as hepatic amoebiasis, a disease affecting liver, or tuberculosis. We are not sure about what was the exact reason of his death. While mentioning any discussion on Srinivasa Ramanujan, we cannot avoid the contribution of several people. For example, George Andrews and Richard Askey. George Andrews is personally known to me for the past 40 years. He is currently a professor in the Pennsylvania State University, USA. Last he passed away in 2019 October. He was a professor in the University of Wisconsin. In fact, my association with George Andrews is through my guru, Professor Hassan Abdi, who hailed from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, who was the founder, professor, and head of the Department of Mathematics in Cochin University. George Andrews came to Cochin, to my university, and as a chief guest for the annual conference of the National Academy of Sciences. George Andrews has been keeping in touch with me. Even last week, he sent me some hints for preparing this talk. In fact, he was also the president of the American Mathematical Society. Notebook, and this is the memorial stamp which was issued long back. And then, Ramanujan's last notebook. The writings of Ramanujan was not known, just like it was lost, but it was re-edited and unearthed by the efforts of George Andrews in 1976, along with the help of G.N. Watson and others, which was kept in the Wren Library at Trinity College, Cambridge. And so this is popularly known as Lost Notebook. It is interesting to show you comments of George Andrews on Srinivasa Ramanujan as a preface to one of my articles I wrote in 2015 about Srinivasa Ramanujan. It reads as follows: one of the most amazing and wonderful mathematicians of all time is Srinivasa Ramanujan. He provides a shining example for each of us in at least two important ways. First, his magical genius. Genius has provided mathematicians for the last 100 years with wonderful research directions that have greatly enriched our understanding of various areas of mathematics. And second, he has shown us that someone born in poverty can achieve success beyond our wildest dreams. The world is a better place because he lived. How fantastic is the quote of George Andrews, and he wished me and the best wishes, and with his name, George. This is, as I said, to the article which I wrote in 2015. Another person is Bruce Byrne, who was University of Illinois. He also corresponded with me a couple of days back and gave me some hints to prepare the slides. He was the man behind the unearthing of Ramanujan's notebooks, which is published by Springer in 5 volumes during, I think, 1986. Bruce Byrne compares Ramanujan's Lost Notebook, the rediscovery, as Beethoven's 10th Symphony. Beethoven is a German pianist. It's well known that he has written only 9 symphonies. So the undiscovered manuscripts keep popping up all the time. Uncovering a lost 10th Symphony by Beethoven would surely give the classical music world something to shout about. Same is the case. He could unearth all the lost notebooks of Ramanujan and re-edit it, proofs, and so on. I understand that Bruce Byrne and his team with Watson and students and some great mathematicians of India could edit at least 3,000 theorems, which was not proved by Ramanujan at any point of time. In 2012, 125th birth centenary of Ramanujan, birth year of Ramanujan, the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh declared 2012 as the National Mathematical Year and 22nd December as the National Mathematics Day to be celebrated every year. And he also asked that, or he also wished that the famous book by Robert Kanigel on The Man Who Knew Infinity be translated to Indian languages. Thanks to the help by Professor M.S. Raghunathan, the then president of the Ramanujan Mathematical Society, we have now, I think, 8 translations to Indian languages. This is the Malayalam. Malayalam language was published immediately after the Bengali version in 2012. We have sold out 2,000 copies and even second edition 2,000 copies. And I was fortunate enough to be the technical consultant of the Malayalam translation of this book. And by that way, I could get an opportunity to know more about Srinivasa Ramanujan, his life, his work, and so on. This is the Bangla version translated by Professor Parthasarathi, and Kannada translation by Professor C.S. Aravinda of TAFR Bangalore. And I'm also happy to say that it had a Gujarati translation by Professor Arun Vaidya and his colleague. These are two Malayalam books on Ramanujan. And to end this part of the story, after his death, the Shastra University, deemed university in Kumbakonam, instituted a prize for young mathematicians below, I think, 32 years, which was started in 2005. And the first awardees were Manjul Bhargava of Princeton University. Later on, got a Fields Medal in 2014. And K. Soundararajan, I think he's in Stanford, again from Tamil Nadu. These were the first recipients, followed by Terence Tao, who is also a Fields Medalist in 2006, I suppose. Yeah, and he also got the Shastra Prize in 2006. And Akshay Venkatesh, who got Fields Medal in 2018, had received the Shastra Prize in 2008. So we have a galaxy of awardees of Shastra Ramanujan Prize, which was started in 2005. This is a famous British play, Disappearing Number, which was played during the ICM Hyderabad in 2010, about the relationship between Adi and Ramanujan. That's another one memorial, a first day cover of the Indian Postal Department issued in 1962. You should also be aware of a competition initiated by Ken Ono, a renowned mathematician, number theorist, and currently one of the vice presidents of the American Mathematical Society, about a project called Spirit of Ramanujan. Spirit of Ramanujan is actually for carrying out the spirit of Ramanujan in letter and spirit. Those students who are outstanding in their engineering or school can apply for this scholarship. And I'm extremely happy to let you know that among the 2017 winners, it includes a boy, Adit Vishnu from Trichur, Kerala, who was twice rank holder topper in the Mathematical Olympiad. So those who are attending this session and who are related to Mathematical Olympiad activities will be happy to know that an Olympiad alumni is now also a fellowship holder of Spirit of Ramanujan. In fact, Adit Vishnu is a student of Indian Institute of Science now. So Ken Ono has been continuing this project of Spirit of Ramanujan. Special thanks to Ken Ono. Okay, with this introduction of the life of Ramanujan, we will quickly go through some of his mathematical contributions. I think I have 20 minutes time left. So I will discuss from the very beginning the wonderful question that he asked when he was in 5th standard or so. When the teacher was introducing division, by an example he gave, when there are 50 apples and 50 students in the class, and if you are going to divide it equally, how many apples is that one boy is going to get? And simple division techniques tell that 50 by 50 is 1. Similarly, he gave another example with 1000 by 1000 is equal to 1. But unfortunately, Ramanujan was there in the class, and he had a tremendous, extraordinary intuition and proficiency. He asked, if no banana is distributed to student, will everyone still get a banana? That was precisely the problem of dividing 0 by 0. And nowadays, people call 0 by 0 as indeterminate. But whenever I talk to school students and college students and teachers and all that in some conferences, they still have the difficulty in understanding why should 0 by 0 be indeterminate? What is the problem of dividing 0 by 0? And that is a thing which I can discuss in some other forum. And let us go to the next contribution of the theory of partitions. I will explain this in a very simple language. Suppose I had 5 laddus. Laddu is a sweet. I have to divide this file into, distribute this file into people without cutting it full. Many ways, different ways I can do it. Separate these files. So as you know, you can give 1 each to 5 people. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 5. I can give 2 to 1 and then 1 each to the remaining. 3 to 1 and 2 to 1. 4 to 1 and 1, and all the 5 to the same student. So put it in the mathematical terminology, number of partitions of the number integer 5, integer partition is 7. But if you take 200, you can do this as a lockdown exercise. You'll be really tired. That number of partitions of the integer 200 is that huge number, 397299902938. But Ramanujan was sure that whenever at any point of time you get a formula for number of partitions of n, that formula is going to contain square root of 2, which is an irrational number, pi, which is irrational as well as transcendental, the differential coefficient d by dx, trigonometry functions sin x, cos x, etc., and above all, the imaginary number I. We are all wondering how Ramanujan could predict a formula for the number of different partitions, which is going to be an integer, with a formula involving all these VIP numbers. That shows, again, the great intuition and power of thinking that Ramanujan had. Thanks to George Andrews, all those who are interested, go through this book. This is another interesting thing, the birthday magic square of Srinivasa Ramanujan. In the first row, you find 22, 12, 18, 87. Which after many days, people knew that it is exactly the date of birth of Ramanujan, 22, 12, 18, 87. So you can prepare your own magic square. For help, you may get the information from the internet. But if you can ask me, I can send you how to generate your own birthday magic square. The magic constant for Ramanujan magic square is 139. And this has a special property that not only column sum, row sum, and diagonal sum are say constant. You take any 4 by 4 square, for example, 22, 12, 88, and 17. You add them, you get 139. You add 89, 16, 23, 11. You get again 139. I think which is unique in the birthday magic square that he prepared. So you please try to prepare your own birthday magic square and let me know what is the magic constant. There could be many people with the same magic constant. Those who are getting very less, if there are young students, they will have a small magic constant. If there are seniors, you will get a bigger number. So these are some examples of the contribution of Ramanujan for 1 by pi. See, in the denominator, you find 396 raised to 4k. Nobody knows. Even those attended the first session later on commented to me, it's an enigma, it's a wonder. It's a great surprise how that 396 to 4k came. And similarly, 4k and 26390k, how this wonderful combination came, nobody knows. And that's all without proof. It is easy to prove that. Or he always says it came to my mind. This is a famous slide. This is a slide which I would like to focus very much. Many of you know that Ramanujan did not give any proof of theorems that he wrote. Bruce Byrne, who has been working on Srinivasa Ramanujan's mathematics for last several years, says that this could be the reason. One, he followed blindly the style of George Carr, the book which influenced Ramanujan. In fact, Carr had a style that he also gave no proofs. Second is a very sad part of the story. Ramanujan was writing in a slate and rubbing later on. So he carried over only those final statements of the theorems in the notebooks. And that too ran over 100, 200 pages. And he didn't have money to buy white paper that much. So it's a very unfortunate state of affairs. I think no Indian student presently will have such a financial crisis. And the third one is interesting, according to Bruce Byrne. He didn't feel that theorems needed proofs. That shows his stark power of intuition. Everything was obvious because he was so great, so strong in mathematics, and his intuition gave the proof, so he thought that no proof is needed. It's quite interesting, isn't it? If some students are attending, if some questions are asked in the university examination paper, they can just follow the style of Ramanujan, saying that proofs of theorems are not needed and get a 0 mark. Okay, but don't follow me right in letter and spirit. Please don't do that. Finally, Ramanujan got his BA degree, honorary BA degree, for his contribution to highly composite numbers. I will take another 10 minutes to conclude my presentation. That's all. It appeared in the Proceedings of the London Mathematical Society in 62 pages with more than 260 theorems, which appeared in 1915. By the way, highly composite number is a composite number whose number of divisors is greater for any smaller. Being afternoon, let us spend 1 minute to understand the definition of highly composite number, those who have not heard it before. By the way, are you sleeping or are you okay? You can answer me later. So, highly composite numbers are numbers whose number of divisors is greater for any smaller. The first few highly composite numbers are 1, 2, 4, 6, 12, 24, 36, 48, etc. Ramanujan felt that there are many highly composite numbers. If you Google OEIS, which is Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences of Sloan, and if you feed 1, 4, 6, 2, 24, etc., it will immediately tell that they are the first few highly composite numbers. It's a great excitement if you do log on to OEIS and see several properties of integer sequences. In fact, Ramanujan, when he had even a computer or nothing in 1915, listed 102 highly composite numbers up to such a big number, 64, 674, 632, 838, 8800. Let us see, let us do a problem. Being a mathematics talk, there should be at least one problem and at least one solution. 24 is highly composite because look at the number of traces of 24. There are 8, 24, 12, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at all numbers less than 24. 23, 19, 17, 13, 11, 7, 5, 3, 2 are prime. So you know what other number of devices is only 2. Look at all non-primes, composites. For example, 22 has only 4 devices and 8 is greater than 4, I suppose. And D12 is 5, D10 is 4. Therefore, number of devices of 24 is greater than any of the numbers below that. Therefore, 24 qualifies to be a highly composite number. You can later do as a lockdown exercise why 20 is not highly composite and get back to me or be happy. Another thing that happened in Cambridge was, you know, P.C. Mahalanobis, who was the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute in 1930. People may not know that Mahalanobis was also in London, King's College, London as a student, when Ramanujan was in Cambridge. Mahalanobis was born on 29th June 1823 and passed away in 1972. And you all know, 29th June is celebrated as National Statistics Day in India. Mahalanobis was the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute, and he was a very close friend of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And so he was involved in the planning 5-year plans and also National Sample Survey. Is a great statistician. In fact, Mahalanobis did not know the strength of Ramanujan, and he mentioned to him a first problem called Belgian house number problem. Let us spend 2-3 minutes because I won't need more than 5 minutes now. Belgian house problem is houses are numbered in a row. Houses are numbered from 50 to 500, from left to right. So Belgian house number has the property that sum of the numbers of the left of it is equal to the sum of the numbers of the house to the right. Come on, what does it mean? 50 plus 51 plus etc. up to x minus 1 plus x is equal to x plus 1, etc. up to 500. So the puzzle or problem was to find out the number of the Belgian house. Any guess? You could guess immediately. You please give me answer when we have a feedback session. But Ramanujan did it using his continued fraction method. But if you look at some books or internet for the solution of Belgian house problem now, you will see that the Belgian house number problem has a solution by solving two equations using Brahmagupta-Pell's method, and that gives that takes the beautiful square numbers and so on, and that is how the solution is given in the internet currently. But Ramanujan, in his power of intuition, he switched to his domain, that of continued fraction, and he gave the same answer. And obviously, I am a bad teacher. I am not going to tell you the answer. What is the actual Belgian house number? You please find it from the books or try to do it yourself. Okay. This is also quite famous, 1729, which is popularly known as the taxi cab number. I will discuss about the nth taxi cab number within 1 minute. This is the number of the taxi that came to meet Hardy traveled to meet Ramanujan when he was not well. All of you know 1729 is the smallest number that can be written as the sum of the cubes of two different numbers, as 1 cube plus 2 cube and 9 cube plus 10 cube. 1 cube plus 12 cube and 9 cube plus 10 cube. But it has another property that 1729 has exactly 3 prime factors. Numbers which can be written as a product of 2 prime factors is called, RSA composite, which is used in cryptography. But this has another interest. 7, 13, 9 are the distinct prime factors of 1729. So any number which has got 3 distinct prime factors, they are called a sphenic number. S-P-H-E-N-I-C, sphenic. I forgot to write it down. Sphenic number. It came to my mind just now. It's a sphenic number. 1729 is the product of 3 distinct prime factors. So I'll give you as another exercise, which is not difficult. Can you give me 2 consecutive composite numbers which are sphenic? Can you give me 2 consecutive composite number which has got exactly 3 prime factors? Okay, you can do this problem again as a lockdown problem. So find some more examples of sphenic numbers. But 1729 incidentally is not the only one which is property, but it is the smallest. This is a surprise for some of you that 4104 also has the same property. It is the sum of two cubes of 2 different numbers, 2 cube plus 16 cube and 9 cube plus 15 cube. And it seems there are infinitely many such numbers. But when you want to generalize to cab numbers, typically denoted by taxi cab n, is defined as the smallest number that can be expressed as a sum of 2 cubes in n distinct ways. So TA2 is 1729 because it is written as the sum of cubes in 2 different ways. So if you are looking at the smallest number, that can be written as sum of cubes in 4 different ways. That is precisely TA4, and that smallest number is a big number, 6963472309248. So somebody asked Ramanujan, what about the smallest number which can be written as sum of 4th power in 2 different ways? Though he was quite unwell, he had a thought and told that, of course, he could not tell that particular number, but he told that if at all you find that number, it is going to be a big number, not like that 29. And later on, after a few years, it was found that that smallest number is 6353.18657, which is 158 raised to 4 plus 1500 raised to 4, and also 133 raised to 4 plus 134 raised to 4. So that's the great power of intuition of Ramanujan. So I will need only 5 minutes more. In 1918, in one of his lost notebooks, he had mentioned about a sum. which is now popularly called Ramanujan sum. In recent years, engineers and physicists have found applications of this sum in digital signal processing, especially identifying periodic components of signals with integer periods. And there is a notion of Ramanujan filter banks for tracking periodicity. Quite surprising. There was no digital, there was no signal processing when Ramanujan was living. Another application is in multiple signal classification algorithm, again in signal processing. Multiple signal classification algorithm can be written as music algorithm. And in fact, Ramanujan mathematics is applied in digitalizing it, in discretizing it in integer periodicities. It has got applications in the study of periodic DNA and protein sequences. In fact, there was a great celebration in 1918 October at London to celebrate the centenary of his election as Fellow of Royal Society. All of you know, 1918, Ramanujan was elected as a Fellow, and in 2018, the centenary conference was held. You'll be excited to see the names of persons who gave talks: George Andrews, Bruce Byrne, Peter Sarnak, Krishnasamy Alladi, Alex Laborsky from Israel, Professor Sujata, who is now at University of British Columbia, Canada, and P.P. Vaidyanathan of California Institute of Technology, and many others. There, somebody has given talk on Ramanujan graphs, which relates spectral graph theory. They are called expanders. They turn out to be optimal expanders and has got application in coding theory as well as quantum cryptography. See, forget about quantum cryptography. Even cryptography was not there when Ramanujan lived. Ramanujan died in 1920, and cryptography came in 1958 or 60. A wonderful invention of information theory by Claude Shannon. Okay, Claude Shannon could be treated as a part of information theory, and information theory branched to two topics like coding theory and cryptography applications in defense. Cryptography, you know, the science of sending signals secret. So it has got applications in modular forms, Selmer groups, and in physics, it has got application in string theory, black hole theory, moonshine effect in semi-groups, and so on. I would like to share some personal, some photos from my personal collection. George Andrews, who has been my friend and in some sense a mentor for the last 40 years, thanks to my guru, Professor Abdi. Professor Richard Oskey is no more. And another photo which I could take was with Ken Ono when he came to India 2018 or so. In fact, all of them wished me best of luck for this. I could do in a reasonable good spirit. I'll show you some books of this. Srinivasa Ramanujan, a mathematical genius, is by Professor Srinivasa Rao of former Institute of Mathematical Sciences. He is a theoretical physicist, but contribution in hypergeometry series and so on. My search for Ramanujan is by Ken Ono, and there is a famous book by David Leavitt, the Indian clerk, and the book on number theory and the spirit of Ramanujan by Bruce Byrne. Finally, this article of mine came in today's Madhrubhumi Malayalam Weekly about the contributions of Srinivasa Ramanujan life. 50% of what I talked now is written in that Malayalam article. So those who are from Kerala, if they have not seen this article, please write to me, my email, or WhatsApp me. I'm happy to give you this copy of this article. Because of lockdown, I understand that many could not read this, but it's an article about, in a humble way, my tributes to a great mathematical genius. There are two more books, Srinivasa Ramanujan by S.R. Ranganathan, Srinivasa Ramanujan by Sir Hassan Abdi, my guru. Krishnasamy Alladi's Ramanujan's place in the world of mathematics. In fact, the lecture will not be complete without thanking personally my friends George Andrews. He has been my friend for the last 40 years. Bruce Byrne became my friend just 10 days ago. Ken Ono became my friend 4 years ago. And Professor Sujata, who is ICTP IMU Ramanujan Prize winner, she has been my friend for the last about 2 years. All of them helped me in getting more confidence in this presentation. I don't know whether you have enjoyed this presentation, but in any case, good or bad, I would like to get feedback either now or later to my email ID, if you can get it from the coordinator, Dr. Aparna. So thanks to Dr. Aparna Lakshman for technical support, and my wife Prema and Dr. Sudhi and her husband for lockdown tolerance. So I too have a message. Corona, be safe at home. Don't get scared. India will break the chain. Don't be afraid. Fight it out. And I wish you all the best. Thank you all. This is a famous coconut tree in Kerala. You are welcome to Kerala as a tourist or as an academician. Later on, after the COVID scare or COVID curve touches zero, you please wait for another 1 month. And I am closing this session, and I leave the floor to Dr. Aparna Lakshmanan to continue. Thank you.
I thank Professor Ampad Vijayakumar for his wonderful presentation. One more thing, we are blessed with the presence of Professor Michael Wordsmith, a senior French mathematician specialized in number theory. He has served as president of French Mathematical Society from 2001 to 2004. He's also the recipient of Albert Schweitzer Prize in 1974, CNRS Silver Medal in 1978, Special Award of Hardy Ramanujan Society in 1986, which of course makes him a special guest for today's event. If you scroll down among the people list, you can find him. Please pin to him. Professor, may I request you to unmute and speak a few words to the participants?
Yes, thank you very much. I first want to congratulate my friend Vijay for this great lecture that he gave. I understand this is your first experience with a webinar. It was really a success. You attracted more than 130 people at some time, and it was really very great. I am very happy that it has been recorded and that you will send the link to all the participants. I will send the link to many people because really it's a great show. I had some difficulties to see the slides, and Aparna was very kind to help me and to help many other people who had the same problem. But finally I could see the slides. It was a little bit difficult. I am glad that you started by mentioning Abdul Kalam. I was lucky enough to meet him in 2010, just the week before I met you in Cochin. I visited you, and the week before I attended a lecture by him in Trivandrum, and he was a great man. It was really inspiring. You mentioned very nicely the fact that we do not understand how Ramanujan could think. He had a sharp power of intuition, but when he gave some formulae with 396 to the power 4, it's really difficult to understand how he could think to such formulae, and it's something which is really a mystery.
Yes.
In your lecture, something which was very nice was when you mentioned some recent application of his work. It's amazing that Hardy was proud that his own work was not useful for anything, in particular to build weapons or do some war. And nowadays, the work of Ramanujan and the work of Hardy also, they are very useful for some modern developments. You mentioned digital signal processing, digital signal classification. I like the acronym music for that. And post-quantum cryptography, string theory, black holes. All this is something where the work of Ramanujan is useful. And it's just 100 years ago that he passed away. And he is still alive in mathematics and in science in general. So I really congratulate you for this great presentation that you gave. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your kind words. It's time for the participants. If anyone want to give any feedback, you can give now. Either through chat box, I'm receiving messages through chat box, or if anyone else wants to speak, you can unmute your mic and speak now.
Respected Madam and our Chief Guest.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
I'm Manju Bhashini. I'm very much interested to know about scientist, the great scientist Ramanujan. And the session, I feel very happy and very useful to me to know more valuable ideas about Mr. Ramanujan, the great scientist. And can I have some links our chief guest for referring number theory regarding coding theory and automata theory?
You can contact him personally through his email address, which I'll be providing.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. Anyone else?
Good morning. This is Joy.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Vijay Kumar, sir, for this nice presentation. Actually, this will be really helpful for us, and also definitely we'll share with our students also. And it's one of the best things during this lockdown. And thank you very much for this opportunity. It's a great lecture.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm Feroza from Kozhikode.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, during this last time, I feel this is a very interesting webinar. And it's very useful also because we're all sitting at home, and on this day especially because it is the April 26th. It's a very, thoughtful thing for Mr. Vijay Kumar to do, to enlighten us with all about Ramanujan. Thank you very much, sir. It was very enlightening.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello, madam. 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I am Rajesh Kannan, Coastal Engineering College, Tamil Nadu, ma'am. This lecture was very interesting and informative one, ma'am. The professor gave a lot of information regarding about our Sri Ramanujan mathematician life from the lifetime up to last one. Especially, he mentioned a lot of the research topic and new results. And the Srinivasa Ramanujan birthday magic square, actually the 22/12/1887 was given. It's a very interesting one. So from this birthday magic square, I want to collect more number of birthday magic square of me and my friends also. And also regarding that astrology, the professor gave the Srinivasa Ramanujan have the astrological star Uttaratadi star. First time I see the astrological chart in this from this lecture. So thank you for all the information. Thank you, Professor, and also thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I know many are waiting to get a chance, but due to time constraints, and I can't allow more. So I take this opportunity to thank Professor Ambad Vijay Kumar for spending his valuable 1 hour and his thoughts about Srinivasa Ramanujan with us. A special thanks to Professor Michael Wordsmith also for his kind words and joining us for this session. I also thank each and every participant for being present here. This was my first webinar. I know there were many technical issues. I tried to troubleshoot on time. I tried to reply to your queries on time. I think I'm successful to some extent. If at all there were any problems, I take this opportunity to apologize to each one of you for your troubles. Once again, thanking each and every one of you. I'm signing off. Namaste.
Thank you.